In the left position, we have TechnicS as the orange Zerg. And in the right position, we have GoTuNk as the white Protoss. I actually spent a lot of time talking to GoTuNk about his matchup. And he said he's going to go for a real super harass-based style versus TechnicS. I think he wants to go for lots of drops because in TechnicS series so far, he likes to go for non-Spire PvZ. So without Scourge, he thinks that he can get a lot of Storm drops off. We'll see. Oh. Huh. TechnicS 5 pooled. Awesome. Well, I guess we won't be seeing any storm drops this game. Or at least probably not. Good stuff. Okay, TechnicS gonna 4 pool. Busting out that LRM 4 pool. I don't know why, but all the people who 4 pool are LRM Zergs. It's just what LRM does in their team meetings. They spend hours and hours and hours drilling 4 pools, apparently. Cole is the master of the 4 pool, but he has his little 4 pool apprentices in TechnicS and Pike. And here it comes. GoTunk's going to scout out TechnicS last, unfortunately. So now he sees the Lings. He has the Forge down and is trying to build a pylon in his base so he can build a cannon there. But I'm not sure he can get it up in time before the Lings focus on the Forge. No, he'll be able to at least get the cannon up in his main. And TechnicS has an economy afterwards. It's not as if he just has 3 drones mining. But oh yeah, that cannon has started. If TechnicS can't do a whole lot of damage here, then GoTuNk might be fine. Rebuilding the pylon over here just so that the cannon won't be unpowered. And now the Zergling's going in for kills. 2, 3 kills so far, 4 kills so far. He's gonna need a few more than that. The cannon is working on being finished. That pylon's getting pretty low on health, but that other pylon's going to finish just in the nick of time before the cannon does. And now those Lings will not be able to get anything else done. They will be able to take out this, though. So the result is 13 supply for GoTuNk in probes compared to 14 supply for TechnicS, and in drones plus 3 Zerglings. So they actually have basically the same worker count. And GoTuNk has slightly more probes, but TechnicS has slightly better tech in that he has a spawning pool and GoTuNk has a third of a gateway. Well, oh, mistake from TechnicS allowing that to go down. GoTuNk's just going to try to be annoying there, stop that hatchery from being built. I don't know if he has a good enough economy to throw down a manor pylon, but GoTuNk is just going to follow it up with a 2-gate and try. GoTuNk is going to continue on with the aggression, whereas TechnicS actually transitioning into something kind of normalish. He has 3 hatcheries at 3 different bases. So I guess it's going to be GoTuNk who's super aggressive against TechnicS for round number 2 of this game. There's still a couple of Zerglings around, 2 of them chasing this probe, one of them just in here to scout. And GoTuNk is producing Zealots. Oh, apparently somebody else found a mistake. But that's a pretty dang small mistake. and everybody knows that Schnitzel's P anyway, so it's fine. Alright. Well, GoTuNk has the first 3 zealots out, with 2 more on the way. And how many Zerglings does TechnicS have? He has a handful, kind of scattered about, not really concentrated. But he's making more. Ooh, is GoTuNk just going to expand instead? That would be interesting. I thought he was going to go for a really quick attack, which may or may not be successful. I think TechnicS could get out enough Zerglings if he needed to. Yeah, it seems like he has enough. But no, it looks like he just wants to be more... No, he is going for it. He's going for it with 5 now. 6 on the way, and then 7 and 8 behind that. There's a forge down, so GoTuNk can build cannons here, but they'll be pretty unprotected cannons as they won't have a wall to defend them. Well, GoTuNk's going to pull back now after seeing the Lings come out. The cannons aren't going to be in time to help out here, but I think GoTuNk has enough Zealots that he's just going to be fine. The Lings are not going to get us around, so yeah, these Zealots are going to be really strong here, managing to only kill a single one and losing all of those Zerglings. And now GoTuNk, that might be the GoTuNk, that might be the opportunity GoTuNk was looking for. Now moving out, also getting, also getting an assimilator. How many Lings does TechnicS have? Not a whole lot back home. I assume he's making a bunch. Lair on the way for TechnicS. So yeah, TechnicS is transitioning into a pretty normal game. GoTuNk seems to be trying to transition to something normal as well, but not before getting this attack off with 7 Zealots and 1 more behind that. There are a lot of Lings coming in from the back. GoTuNk just needs to make sure that he doesn't get surrounded, but oh, unfortunately he's going to lose a Zealot there pretty quickly. Doesn't even get a shot off. Probe does go into the base to scout though, trying to figure out what TechnicS' next plan is. Now the Zealots are pulling back. Is he going to get one of them lost? No, he doesn't lose one of them. Oh, but this isn't actually terribly good position. Okay, there we go. Now GoTuNk's pulling back into a better position, allowing those Zealots to get off a lot of shots against those Zerglings, and the Zerglings are having a tough time getting in. So, yep, finding the correct position there. And just going to be annoying. There are a lot of Zerglings there. Maybe enough to defeat the Zealots. They are kind of injured. Some of them are, at least. But if GoTuNk stays back here, then he'll be completely fine. And there's a Spire for TechnicS compared to the Cyber Core for GoTuNk. Actually, the Cyber Core compared to Spire timings aren't that dissimilar from a normal game, all things considered. But these Zerglings will finally get in there. GoTuNk didn't quite keep his Zealots as close together as they needed to be. Got surrounded there. And TechnicS now has a really large number of Lings. I don't think he has speed, does he? They don't look like speedlings. No, yeah, they're speedlings. My bad. He's coming into attack, and not only is there not a wall, there's an okay number of Zealots. Only 2 cannons. TechnicS might be able to break through this. At least he's going to try. Nope. Backing off. The Zealots don't quite make a tight wall, so maybe he could get a Zergling run by. But good job by GoTuNk. He's going to keep the wall. He's going to make the opening at the top here, because there has to be one somewhere. And if the opening's at the top, the Zerglings can't just dart right into the main where they could do a lot of damage. GoTuNk with the double Stargate follow-up. Spire is done. And Hydralisk Den Hatchery. Another hatchery for TechnicS. So yeah, things are starting to look a lot more standard in this game after the 4-pool. It's, yeah, just the double Stargate's actually the weirdest thing right now. And that's not that uncommon. Citadel for GoTuNk now. We'll be able to get Zealot leg speed. Is he getting +1? No, he's not getting +1. Yeah, so that's interesting that he's gonna get the Citadel before starting +1. Might not even be going for leg speed. Might just be for for Templars. First mutalisks are on the way for TechnicS. But there are a lot of cannons up. 5 in the natural, 2 in the main, plus Corsairs being produced off of 2 Stargates. Surprised he hasn't started +1 air weapons if he's going to go 2 Stargate. And there is the Templar Archive, so yeah, he is just going to go for the faster Templar rather than go for Zealot leg speed. These mutalisks are going to have a really hard time getting anything done. There's just too many Corsairs here. Drone threatening to expand. Overlord speed on the way. Hydralisk speed just finishing up. This TechnicS really didn't make a Sim City here. Whatever. Well, Corsair, more Corsairs on the way. DTs now too. This was the other thing that GoTuNk said. I believe his exact quote was, "I'm going to Bisu build him, and I will either win or lose, unless he cheeses me." It was something to that effect. But he seemed really keen on using the Bisu build. The generic nebulous that is the Bisu build. But he has Corsairs, and he has Dark Templars, and the Dark Templars are before speed and before +1, so I think that this qualifies as the Bisu build. Why not? But Overlord Siege has already been started. Is he going to sneak out with 1 Dark Templar? No, not going to sneak out. Where's the Overlord? Here's the closest Overlord, it looks like. So that Dark Templar might be able to do some good damage, but he has to worry about a really scary bust here. There is no wall to help him, so just the Zealots, just the Zealots and the Cannons. There are 2 DTs, though, and the DTs are going to be the best part, but he needs to just stall for more time. The Corsairs need to take out that Overlord! No, too many Overlords coming in for TechnicS. He's going to be able to take out all of the DTs, and while the Overlords do go down, it's not going to be enough. TechnicS not even supply blocked with that. Stepping forward to take out the cannon. He can snipe the Templar. He can snipe the other cannon. And now he's going to start whittling away on that. GoTuNk going to go try to do something with the Corsairs. Try to get some Overlord kills somewhere. But he's in a lot of trouble right now as the Hydralisks have broken into the natural. And this Nexus is almost certainly going to go down. Slow lots without an upgrade to try to defend. That's just not going to work out. There are more DTs on the way. That was the best thing he had going for him. There is no Overlord, so maybe, but I don't know how he's going to be able to save the Nexus. He's not saving the probes either. The probe's not even transferring back. I don't know why he isn't saving the probes. Corsairs coming in. I think they're just trying to get there to defend from Overlords. But there goes the Nexus. The DT is out. So he's going to be able to do a little bit of damage here, but can he do damage fast enough? There are 3 now. So yeah, TechnicS is going to be forced back. And now, how much leadway can these Overlords, can these Corsairs create? Given the, taking out the Overlords, apparently not very much, because the Hydralisks are in a good position to defend. Lots of Dark Templar out for GoTuNk right here. 5 of them already. Who knows how many coming up from behind, but that is going to shut down all of this Hydralisk aggression without the Overlords, but here they come, and GoTuNk can't afford to lose these Dark Templar. Oh no! Oh, GoTuNk. GoTuNk losing a Zealot and 2 Dark Templar, but the other ones are going to remain. Does have speed now, and oh no, he's going to lose his Corsair fleet. He's not even able to finish off the Overlord. Oh, which means that GoTuNk really is in a terrible position. He can try to re-expand here, but those cannons aren't going to be enough without a wall and a lurker follow-up following after that. He does have cannons to help out detecting the lurkers, but I don't even think that's going to be enough. Oh man. GoTuNk, he's sending out Dark Templar. Going to try to take out that bottom expansion. He sees the drone transferring. Nope. Nope, just wants to go back up. Sees that drone transferring. It looks like he'll follow that one. And there are Overlords here, though. This Dark Templar is injured. I don't even think it could beat the single Hydralisk that's guarding. Down here, the Silken Colonies are probably going to be in time. And here comes a huge attack. So many Overlords, so many Hydra Lurkers. Oh, and these Zealots, they do have speed, but otherwise unupgraded. Here it comes. Lurkers are gonna do so much damage to these zealots as they clump up. They can't do anything. They're just torn to shreds. The DT dies as well. There are a couple High Templar, but not enough energy for storms. And now the Hydralisks are gonna back up, let those zealots take even more hits. And every time they get close enough to actually attack the Hydralisks, they just take so many shots from the Lurkers. He might have actually killed off enough of the Hydralisks that he can't break through the cannons, though. Which is nice. Those cannons have done a lot of damage to the Hydralisks. But other than that, TechnicS is going to be able to set up a very nice contain at the very least, even if he isn't going to continue with the aggression. Looks like the DT managed to take out, managed to take out the Spore Colony. But that's little consolation. 109 supply compared to just 44 for GoTuNk. And GoTuNk has pretty much lost this. These Lurkers are going to go in. Can't quite beat the cannons. Lurkers are really bad against buildings. Well, Hive on the way, getting upgrades for Zerglings, and yeah, there's nothing GoTuNk can do against this. He's even mined out at his main. It looks like GoTuNk is going to lose game 1. Here's another wave of units. Looks like a pretty even mix of of Ling and Lurker and Hydralisk. And, yep, going in now. The Lurker's trying to get a good enough position to get in range of the cannons, in range of a lot of the other units, so he can't do that Zealot dance he did last time, which barely saved him. But now all the Zealots are dead, all the cannons are dead, all of the Dragoons are dead. There is a High Templar left. It now has 75 energy. That's a good storm, but it just doesn't matter, and so many more Lurkers are on the way. Oh, he's not even using these Lurkers to come up yet here where he can attack. Reinforcements coming up the ramp. And I don't know why TechnicS is advancing forward. Maybe he's just waiting for these Lurkers to finish. There we go, GG from GoTuNk. TechnicS takes game number 1. Alright, game number 2 of TechnicS GoTuNk. Oh, whoa. Whoops, my bad. Alright, so in the bottom right, we have TechnicS, who is the white Zerg. In the left, we have GoTuNk, who is the green Protoss. Did I? Yep, I did. I did, in fact, remember to record this one. And TechnicS making drones this time. So, that's good. Tech. Not going to 5 pool 2 games in a row. Well. GoTuNk. Hopefully he'll have a little bit more normal of a game this time around. We'll, see what he can get out of it. As he won't have to deal with those, super early lanes. Boy, it is getting hot in here. I close my doors and windows just so that there isn't outside noise, but the byproduct of that is it gets really hot in this room. And I've been casting for quite a while, which doesn't help. Alright. GoTuNk's gonna put the forge here, gateway on top. There's a pretty big gap over that, but it's fine. You can put cannons behind it. Gonna go for a pretty solid wall. Nothing like the Doty wall. The interesting thing that is the Doty wall. Alright. So, excuse me, 12 hatch for TechnicS, and then the 12 pool after that. GoTuNk is scouting the side. Excuse me. He realizes that he can. Throw down the Nexus now. He doesn't need to build cannons before then. And TechnicS sending up a drone. Looks like he's going to expand over there. Now, as I hinted at in the first game, the other series we've seen from TechnicS so far is a really good series versus Schnitzel, where he just barely won it 3-2. But he played it with a pretty cool ZVP style, in my opinion. He played it almost spireless. The spires, if he did get a spire in the game, it was really late. And it was just 6 hatch, lots of Hydralisk, not necessarily trying to bust. And I thought that was a really cool way to play. Because I know it's standard for Zergs to get the Spire, and the Scourge, getting the Scourge out early is nice and whatnot, but it's just such a big investment to only marginally be able to contain Corsairs if you're not going to go Mutalisks anyway. I like it when the Zerg player can step out from that convention and explore possibilities of getting a lot of Hydralisks out on the field, because there's a lot of benefits to that too. Well, Cybercore finishing up now, and TechnicS is getting his lair, is getting that hatchery here. It looks like he's gonna, unfortunately, not be doing what I was describing and revert back to normal ZVP. Probably will be getting the Spire after that. Alright. So, now that the layer's finished, we'll see whether it is in fact going to be a Spire. It's looking a little bit too late to be a Hydralisk den, in case you wanted to go for some weird kind of lurker play, so it's almost certainly going to be a Spire at this point. He's getting a good number of lings out on the field, though. No speed yet. Speed needs a little bit longer. Is he threatening to bust? GoTuNk has a solid wall here. The probe is weak, though. Oh, that's cute. GoTuNk actually pulling the probe slightly back from the Zealots, so if there's only one Zergling at a time that can deck the probe. That's kind of cool. But there is only one cannon, so TechnicS might be able to break in here as speed is finished. He's going in, he wants to try to focus down that probe, but that nice positioning from GoTuNk actually making it really hard for him, and more probes were able to be pulled before that first one could go down. Wow, GoTuNk very effectively shutting it down just with such a small thing of having that one probe behind the two Zealots, and managing to kill a good number of Zerglings without losing anything at all. Very nice. Spire on the way, hatchery number 4 on the way, and we would expect to see hatchery number 5 thrown down here sometime very soon. +1 air weapons on the way. And it looks like, yeah, GoTuNk was not lying when he said he was just going to Bisu build, as he is skipping speed, going directly to Dark Templar. This time not going for double Stargate, but going for Stargate with +1. Which, I like Stargate with +1 more than the double Stargate, because you get more bang for your buck that way. You don't quite have as many Corsairs, but the +1 on the Corsairs just makes such a big difference. And that's going to be Overlord kill number 2 before the Scourge come out. A little bit slow on... Ooh. A little bit slow on the Scourge, but it's more GoTuNk getting a faster Stargate than normal. As a build, he did not build too many Zealots, so he was able to squeeze that out a bit faster. GoTuNk going to trap his own probe, making Corsair micro easier. And yeah, the DTs, we saw ADT on the way. Is he going to be able to do any damage? There is a sunken in Overlords. This is the kind of look you want to see if you're going to go Bisu build. Excuse me. GT's moving across the map. I'm kind of surprised to not see the Corsairs moving out with them, as there are a good number of overlords they have to contend with. And, oh, I'm going to lose one Scourge trying to get into a cannon. Where? Why? I don't know why GoTuNk isn't sending in the Corsairs to help out. There's no Spore Colony. There's only a couple of Hydralisks. That's what the Corsairs are for. Maybe he just really wants to wait for +1? Well, +1's done now. This base also doesn't have a Spore Colony. So, man, if you're gonna go Bisu build, figure out a way to get the Bisu build off the ground. Because you're sacrificing leg speed until pretty late. You're not gonna get +1. You gotta get something out of it. Well, it looks like the Corsairs are now moving out. Taking care of some of the Zerglings. It looks like GoTuNk wants to go for a pretty fast expansion, not get himself contained, and he will just barely snipe that Overlord. So yeah, that's a pretty fast Overlord speed from GoTuNk that's going to help out. There is, well, there still is no Spore Colony. And the Hydralisks aren't close enough to the Scourge to use them in conjunction. So Corsairs might have some success here. Move out to scout that 4th base is now started for TechnicS. Scourge going down, and the Overlord not quite getting able to catch this Overlord. For how many Corsairs he has, and the fact that he has +1, he doesn't have that many Overlord kills. But now going in, I think he's spreading them out. He's going to be spreading them out a little bit here. He should be able to get a good number of kills, as there's just not many Hydralisks, especially considering how many Overlords there are here. TechnicS, though, had like double the amount of supply he needed, despite not being in any battles. So it's not as if he just was up that high and then lost it. But has just an excessive number of Overlords, possibly scared of the Dark Templar. And there's a good pack of Hydralisks up here, but they're a little bit far ahead to be defending these Overlords if GoTuNk wanted to go for those. Still, you're going to need a lot before he could possibly possibly supply block. But no, not going to be worth it. Backing off now. Looks like gearing up for an attack. Is there Dark Templar? No, no Dark Templar, but High Templar. He certainly had enough time for Storm to finish, and an Archon to help out. This should be pretty strong. He now does have +1. Certainly going to help out compared to just +1 attack on TechnicS. So both with 1 attack, but that armor is very nice. Oh, but Lurkers is done for TechnicS, and he is supply blocked. No, actually very heavily supply blocked, but there's nothing that GoTuNk can do given that the Lurker's already out, and he's just gonna have to head home. I mean, he can clean up the Hydras that are chasing him, but nothing he can do after that. Yeah, there were, I don't know, maybe he could have done something if he had really well placed storms. But I just don't think there were enough Templar for that to really be a viable option to ignore observers. I think he made the smart decision and just backed off. Going to be continually supply blocking TechnicS though, or at least attempting to. TechnicS still has a little bit of a cushion to work with. Oops. GoTuNk transferred his probes a little bit too early, so they're going to make a round before actually mining properly. And shuttle on the way. Energy upgrade for the Templar on the way, so it looks like he's going to go for some Storm Drop. Storm Drop is very nice on this map. So many good angles for shuttles to come in. These high grounds make really nice places to Storm Drop, obviously. Alright. loading up 2 Zealots, 2 Dark Templar instead of a High Templar drop. And are either of these bases really exposed to that? Maybe the main is a little bit, but this one has static defenses, and that's going to be the more typical base for GoTuNk to go towards. See which one he actually decides to go to. There's a shuttle. Gotta keep an eye on that. Looks like, in fact, he is going to be going up. Maybe he'll see it and back off. Maybe he will actually continue to attack it. Oh, shuttle going in. It's going to fly over the Spore Colony, so obvious that he's there, but dropping all of his units right on top of the Sunken. So that should go down very quickly. And now, going to work on the Spore Colony, trying to take it out, get rid of that detection. Also make so the Corsairs can come in. But is he going to be able to handle the Hydralisks? There is no observer to see the Dark Templar quite yet. Now it is. But it's still... No, it's not going to quite be enough for the Dark Templar. Meanwhile, just a little bit of a distraction, it seems, as he's moving down to the bottom side of the map. Now has an observer with his army. Has a good number of Corsairs, but that is a lot of Lurkers to have to contend with. There's a lot of Zerg units in general to have to contend with. Does he have the storms he needs? Well, Lurkers go down, and he's actually going to allow GoTuNk to get up onto the high ground a little bit more than I think he might want it to. And oh, great storms going down on Lurkers. Oh, I thought it was a little bit better. Actually, it's still pretty good storms, but I thought he was hitting more than he was. But still, just storms devastating the Zerg army here, and GoTuNk's going to be able to step up. Only Dragoons left, though, which is a bit unfortunate. As these Lings are going to be able to do a lot of damage here, and it looks like TechnicS, yeah, is eventually going to be able to clean this up. Corsair should be able to live, though, if he's paying attention. More Lurkers going down, that's a bit of a loss for TechnicS there. Just, Lurkers can be quite expensive. You want to keep those alive, but GoTuNk is actually continuing this attack. I'm surprised by that. I thought he'd back off. These Zerglings have crack. They're very strong, and there are more units coming in from the back. And yeah, GoTuNk now finally backing off. I don't think he should have sent in that last wave of units. He's going to be able to get some more Overlord kills, though, with the Corsairs. Supply blocking TechnicS once again. GoTuNk only with a small supply lead. Alright, moving in with the Corsairs, still trying to find more Overlords. Defilers are out for TechnicS as he has his Hive Tech up. Ooh, researching drop. Interesting. Go for some drops on TechnicS base. Right now we have 4 bases up for TechnicS, with this one getting pretty close to mined out, and this one getting pretty close to mined out. Really 2 bases, because neither of them have pretty good saturation out of them anyway. Compared to 6 bases for TechnicS, although 2 of them are just mineral onlys, and horribly saturated mineral onlys at that. So, not too big of an economic advantage for either player. No, flying those Corsairs over Hydralisks, probably not what he wants to do. Still looking for more Overlords to kill, though. Lots and lots of Lings, though, coming out. Good number of hatcheries there, and just going to constantly produce Lings, it appears. Cracklings are very good. He does have a lot of Cracklings, yet it's getting up to a number where it's actually really hard to control that many of them. It's just too many to have them all move in at the same time, but we'll see if he's able to get them off. Certainly one of the most rewarding things of the game. If you can control that many Cracklings, there's almost no reason to build any other unit. Just 200 armies of Cracklings. Well, just a little bit of a supply lead for GoTuNk, but not really significant one. Not enough to say he's really ahead. Going in for some more speed lot drops. I'm surprised you haven't seen more storm drops. I think they're a little bit more effective. Oh, loses the shuttle without dropping off a single one. TechnicS was prepared for that kind of harass this time around. And going in for an attack again, meeting out in the middle of the map, but TechnicS, he just has so many Cracklings. Swarm now going down, gonna make those Dragoons not do much damage anymore. And Storm going down, not hitting a whole lot. Oh, again, not a terribly good storm. TechnicS didn't send too many units to deal with it, but here comes the huge wave of units. Lots of Lings and Hydralisks coming down. And oh, is he going to be able to snipe those Templar, as they are going to trail behind Templar's slower units than the rest of the army? No, it doesn't look like TechnicS was going towards it. He's just sending all of his units to the middle of the map, not pursuing necessarily. TechnicS actually taking another base, taking these inside expansions. I'm a little bit surprised by TechnicS' expansion pattern, because normally this expansion and this expansion would be taken much sooner as a Zerg player. It's just easy to defend it with lurkers slash defiler if necessary. Throwing down lots of cannons here. I don't know what he... Oh, nice play. Going down on a lot of the Dragoons and the Zealots. I don't know what he saw to indicate that TechnicS might go for drop. Maybe the fact that there's so many overlords in the middle of the map. But whatever he saw to read it, that was a very nice read. And the fact that TechnicS says drop probably won't be able to do too much if in fact he does go for it. Some storms going down, hitting a little bit, but not terribly big amounts. The real issue that GoTuNk has right now is that he's just a pure goon army, and goons, well, if he's going to fight Ultralists like that, they are going to be really effective, but once the Zerglings come in, they just stop being effective. Oh no, losing a lot of his Corsairs. He's done a good job of keeping that Corsair fleet alive so far, but I guess at this point in the game, they start to really lose their effectiveness. It's hard to really find targets for them. And he is going to lose at least one more Corsair. There we go, taking it down. The rest of them severely injured, so I don't know how much more he'll be able to get out of them. And oh, GoTuNk, after that engagement, has fallen significantly behind in the supply by about 30. By about 30. Ooh, boy. GoTuNk going for Reavers now. He has 1/4 of the base, but this is why Aztec's good for Zerg. That they split the map, but they split the map so that GoTuNk has nothing. Ooh, nice storm drop. Hitting a lot of those. Is he going to drop them off? Yes. Why, thank you, GoTuNk, for revealing that you got 7 kills. So, the triple Reaver threat looks like it's not going to be for... It looks like it is going to be for Harass. I thought he was just going to link them up with that army. But he's not even going for speed. Yeah, okay, there it is. Speed's on the way. Definitely going to help out a lot. Getting those shuttles out of trouble easier. Getting them around where they need to be. And yeah, going in for an attack, or going out into the middle of the map. GoTuNk is essentially maxed, but this is not looking like a very maxed army. I mean, the Reavers and the shuttles do count for a lot of supply, but he needs to back up now. Those Lurkers are going to do a lot of damage to the Zealots. I guess the Zealots are kind of avoiding the Lurkers, but they're not very good versus Ultra Seeders, and this is so many Ultralists for GoTuNk. This is what happens when you let Zerg get as many gases as they can possibly use. They just overwhelm you with Ultralisks out of nowhere. GoTuNk's gonna pull back. He will be safe up here, but he can't just play in a position where he'll be safe. He needs to do some kind of damage because TechnicS literally has 2/3 of... Well, once he takes this, he'll have 10 out of the 15 bases compared to GoTuNk's 4. This is 9 base Zerg versus 4 base Protoss. And this is quite the harass effort here with the Archon plus 4 Reavers. Gonna be able to do some significant damage, most likely. Probably should pull that Reaver back. Let the full health Reavers deal with those. There we go. Getting some good hits off on those Hydralisks before they can engage. Looks like he lost an observer though. And oh, the Hydralisks are actually stepping forward now, hitting a lot of those Reavers. How many did he pick up? Just one? Yeah, it looks like he just picked up one. The Archon's still in there, and there's going to go the rest of the Corsairs. All the Ultralisks now coming down to attack GoTuNk. Oh man. Oh man. A lot of Zealots getting sandwiched, and that's so many Ultralisks. So many Ultralisks and Hydralisks, and this is going to be a nice little bottleneck for TechnicS, but I still don't even think it's going to be enough. The bottleneck of TechnicS is not going to be enough for GoTuNk to be able to win this fight. Those are some great storms though. There's some great storms though, and yes, TechnicS is going to back off. So TechnicS won't be able to get up the ramp. GoTuNk is going to be able to survive a little bit longer. If GoTuNk had gone around the other side, who knows how that would have turned out. Wouldn't have been able to get off so many good storms. Oh man. But now TechnicS has taken this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, of which, of those 10, 5 are still mining. I think 5. 5 or 6 are still mining. Compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, of which 1 is still mining, with this being the only not taken base on the map. But GoTuNk does have a very strong army. It's almost maxed. What are the upgrades looking like? 3, 2, 1. Very strong upgrades for both players, in fact. Got that 3 armor and 2, and 2 range attack. I believe the Ultralisks are perfect. Oh, yeah, that's scary. There's so much fleshy color right there. And, oh, he's going to hit GoTuNk at a great angle. At a great angle. GoTuNk's entire army isn't here. He might lose the Templar before they can get storms off. But now, as GoTuNk's pulls back, he's going to funnel TechnicS a little bit. Good move by TechnicS, just backing off there, realizing it wasn't worth to continue to pursue. And GoTuNk's will stop one of these bases. Oh, but here comes the Zerg army once again after GoTuNk gets a little bit out of position. He's going to shoot a lot of Scarab shots. Plague going down. That Plague does not mean much. But he needs to get more storms off. Where are the storms? Oh, he doesn't actually have many storms left. He does have these Reavers, though. The Reavers can do a lot of damage. Apparently, he lost 1. But getting up this choke is going to be extremely hard for the Zerg. I think TechnicS is better off just backing off and accepting that he's going to lose this battle. Because these Scarabs are going to do a lot of damage, possibly. No. I guess he will be able to take out the Reavers. There is still a Dark Templar there, but the Dark Templar will be taken out as well. Only the shuttles remain, and GoTuNk loses his army. That was a maxed army, and he's not going to be able to reproduce it for quite some time. Whereas TechnicS, we can just watch that supply explode. Look how much money he already has banked, and he certainly has the hatcheries to use it. Like 13 hatcheries or something like that. 10 bases plus 1, 2, 3 of 4. Nope, that one's not there. Okay, so 10 bases plus 3 minus 1 because he isn't there. That's 12 hatcheries. Can make whatever he wants and look back at 200, whatever composition he wants. I guess he's a little bit low on gas, which is surprising considering how many gases he has. All of these bases have. He's taken the gas at all the bases that have them. He just has so much. He just has so much. Now going to use some more Defilers in his army. Although the Defilers aren't going to be very effective just because there's nothing really to swarm. He can try to Plague, but there's nothing really to Plague either. So, gonna go try to get up this choke again. Plague going down, hitting some of the Zealots. Oh. Yeah, it's a little bit too much of a bottleneck to try to go up. He might have been able to break it. Might have. Making lots of Reavers, though. That is GoTuNk's plan at this point. Make lots of Reavers, and then somehow use what's left here. But if you add up his entire bank plus all the minerals he has, it's like 1k. Okay, it's like 2k. That 2,000 minerals is not enough to get enough of a position to be able to take another base. Oh, GoTuNk's loading that up, though. Very heavily. He's going to go try to fuse or harass it. That could do a lot of damage, as that base is horribly oversaturated. But no, going in a different direction. Just, he needs to use these Reavers to help out with the army, because that's the only hope he has against so much Zerg. And there are so many Overlords here. Is he going to Doom Drop? He's going to Doom Drop. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And it's nowhere. It's not even enough Overlords. It's like, yeah, we have a control group of Overlords. Still leave half the army behind. Oh, man. Oh, man, there are cannons here, but that's not enough cannons. There's a Templar there, but that's not enough Templar. GoTuNk will be able to do a little bit of damage of his own, but now he realizes that he's about to get Doom dropped. The Doom drop. That was a bad storm. That storm did not hit very much. The second storm was okay. Third storm, eh. And now all these cannons are dead. GoTuNk trying to rush back. The natural SimCity that it makes does mean that the Reavers can be effective. Dudes need to do the Reaver micro. Oh, I guess not. He's just gonna kill all of them. He is doing a little bit of Reaver micro here, picking up injured ones. But only 2 remain. He does come back and clear it up, but that's fine. TechnicS doesn't care whether it gets cleaned up or not, because he's already almost maxed again. The drop isn't even done. He's almost maxed again. Has 10k minerals. Oh boy, this is just overwhelming. Just overwhelming. GoTuNk has 6. He has 6 minerals. And he can't expand. There's nowhere on the map GoTuNk could expand. So I hope you like your 139 supply, because you're going to be staying at it until you start losing units. Oh man, that's good storm going down, but I think that this is going to be the final engagement. Even if somehow GoTuNk manages to win, he won't have very much, and TechnicS will be able to remax with his nearly 10k. Double storms going down on the Ultralisks. He is doing a lot of damage, but it just doesn't matter. Long distance mining from here. Alright, he's gonna long distance mine. 6 minerals. 6 minerals. Okay, but now he's getting more. He has 14 now. Oh man. Oh, and it's fine. If he like loses all of his probes that are long distance mining, he'll just bring in more probes. He like actually might have enough probes that he could efficiently mine from this base. Oh, nope, GG. TechnicS takes game 2. Alright. So, game number 3 of GoTuNk versus TechnicS. TechnicS, he 4-pulled in game 1, but in game 2 he really showed his stuff, showing that he's a very strong macro Zerg if you let him expand like that. Bloody Ridge, though, going to be significantly harder to do it on. In the bottom position we have TechnicS as the yellow Zerg. In the top position we have GoTuNk as the white Protoss. And the reason I say it's harder on Bloody Ridge is just because it's harder to get into the position you need to. Excuse me. It's harder to take expansions on this map. Significantly harder than it is on Aztec. And as you saw, TechnicS really didn't want to challenge GoTuNk because GoTuNk has really good micro. But when he didn't need to, he could just take 10 bases and GoTuNk would be on 4 and then he won. But on this map, if GoTuNk's on 4 bases, that means TechnicS can only be on 7 bases at max, and that's taking the center one. And these bases do not have as nice of, well, I was gonna say they don't have as nice of ramps as Aztec did, but these two, but TechnicS took the center expos on Aztec as well, and those don't have ramps. So scratch that, but still, TechnicS can't take that many more expos at GoTuNk. It's like, literally, he had 6 more expos than GoTuNk. If he had 6 more expos than GoTuNk, that means, like, GoTuNk has 2, and TechnicS has 8. So GoTuNk took his main and his natural, and TechnicS took everything else to be able to assert that kind of economic dominance again. So I don't think that's going to happen. Well, GoTuNk's going Gateway first, which is interesting. Gateway first means that he wants to get more. Normally, Gateway first works when you're going to go for more zealots in the early game. And then when you go for your +1 timing attack, you have lots and lots of zealots, and then you kill them because they were only expecting 7 and you had 11. But GoTuNk hadn't been going for speed lot attacks. He had been purposefully stalling on that and getting Dark Templar instead. So this would be a complete shift in his game plan if he was to actually be using it as you're supposed to. It's possible he's going to cheese with it, but pretty unlikely. Well, if TechnicS opens with lots of early lings, it could be a problem. But no, TechnicS not only going pool first, they're the other lings. Okay. So still not making that many lings though. He does have speed on the way. I think he might have scouted that it was gate first, and that's an interesting wall. Forge. So that's tight. That's not. I don't know about this side or this side. I assume that this is tight, but I don't know about this. It's interesting. He'll have to destroy a building to get goons out. And here come the speedlings, though. GoTuNk does have an okay number of zealots, but oh no! But he can't let that happen. He has to not let that exact thing happen. And now, oh, in true ISL 3 tradition, we have lings in a Protos's base. Lings in your base in general is the theme of ISL 3. Oh man. And if TechnicS can micro it correctly, he should have no problem here killing off a lot of these probes. There are a good number of zealots out for GoTuNk because he did go zealot first, but slow zealots versus speedlings? Oh. Unless TechnicS makes mistakes like that, should be able to feast on drones for a long, feast on probes for a long time. More lings streaming in. There are cannons though, so I don't think he's going to be able to get another run by. But TechnicS is mixing it up. He's actually going for a third hatchery in his natural rather than another at another expo. So I think that he's going to be going for something more aggressive here. We've already shown that he's being pretty aggressive, trying to get some Zergling run-bys, but beyond that as well. And, oh, Zealot picks off the 2 low health ones quickly, and no, that last one will not be able to finish off the Zealot. So that does take care of all the Zealots that were in the base. I think TechnicS could have done that a little bit better, but he still did lots and lots of damage, more than worth it. And GoTuNk's Cyber Core, it's about halfway done. The Lair's about halfway done as well. TechnicS should be starting +1 pretty soon, if he is going to go for a speed lot build, which is what you'd have to assume based on going gateway first. But no, it's not going to be for a speed lot build. He's just going to go for some 5 zealot attack. And it's still probably going to be DTs afterwards. Unless he's just chasing him out. Well, there's the Citadel. So, Citadel before Stargate. Maybe, I don't know. Because he's not getting +1. So it's just, so if he does go for speed lots, they're just going to be unupgraded speed lots, meaning that the Zerglings aren't going to have, there's still going to be a problem for Zerglings, but not that much of a problem for Zerglings. Now up to 7. Well, Zerglings are going to go in, almost getting a surround on the Zealots, but not quite. GoTuNk's going to back up, wants to try to keep them alive as long as possible. But this is a problem, that if this is going to be your attack and you can be easily surrounded by lings like this, you can't do too much damage to your opponent. And now, once again, and again he's going to snipe 1. So that's the second time GoTuNk stuck his neck out, second time it's going to cost him a Zealot. And, oh man, there's so many speedlings. That's so many speedlings. Looks like he's droning up now. Oh, the Spire finished. Still just horrific numbers. They're going to get another surround on the Zealots. Not quite but not quite enough to stop them. Just getting a lot of shots off on the shields. And GoTunk's speed's on the way. And Templar Archives as well. No +1 though. So it is going to... So... looking like some kind of ye old Speedlot Archon build without +1, like they did back in the olden days, I guess. GoTuNk. I mean, I guess your grand plan of going Beastu build every game just didn't quite work out. But I don't know if this is the solution either. He's going to be able to punish this base, though. Take it out pretty easily. I don't think the Lings can get back there in time. And they don't seem to be more focused on the Zealots. Just worried about that probe. 3 Zealots moving through the middle of the map, and they are going to see the Zerglings. I don't think the Zerglings quite saw them, though. And the Zerglings now coming up. GoTunk's not going to be able to get out. Well, maybe he is, as the Zerglings are more focused on taking care of the Zealots that are running into the main. And he can try to do a little bit of damage here, but the Mutalisks are eventually going to be able to catch him. GoTuNk now moving in with more Zealots. Is he going to deal with these Zerglings? Is he going to actually engage? He is going to engage them. Oh, but I don't know if he wants to. He's not actually engaging with all of them. And now pulling back after taking some damage from the Zerglings. Mutalisk chasing as well. He does have an Archon up, so that's some kind of anti-muta defense. Now building a lot more cannons. The cannons should be enough to stop the Mutalisks if TechnicS continues with that. But actually managing to retreat home with most of the Zealots, which is a little bit surprising. And now DTs again, but this time without Corsair. I mean, he was pretty bad about using the Corsairs to help out the DTs before, so why not just ignore the Corsairs? Seems like a completely logical thing to me. Overlord speed on the way. Well, Mutalisk can have a little bit of fun here, focusing down the Forge. It's not a cannon, so it won't be able to shoot the Mutalisks, and the Archon can't even get out. But Zealots, but a DT on this side of the map is doing some damage to the drones. Has 4 kills. Good job by him. Forge almost being taken out, but not quite. And this Dark Templar still not being dealt with. It's a slow Overlord coming in. The Lings need to come and help. But now the DT certainly can't get out. He's going to try to hide in the corner a little bit. Mutalisks do manage to finally take down the Forge. This is enough, now open enough for, excuse me, for other units to get out besides Zealots, the Dragoons and the Archons. But looks like the DT was in fact taken care of. Did manage to get some good kills though. Still only a 3-base Zerg, as this base was shut down. 82 supply compared to 85. Wait, yeah, it's pretty even. And now a lot of the supply is tied up in the Mutalisks. If TechnicS is to lose these Mutalisks to Archons because he fights a little bit too close, then GoTuNk's going to be at a huge advantage here. He's moving out with a kind of odd composition. There are more Dragoons than there are Zealots, which I guess is going to be helpful if you're expecting your opponent to have lots of Mutalisks, but we've already seen TechnicS have a lot of Speedlings too. And the Dragoons are just not going to be good versus Speedlings. Does have 2 Archons though, and those are certainly very good versus Speedlings. Still moving forward, can focus down. Yes, going to be able to get the Overlord. Supply block? Yes, supply blocking TechnicS. That was the second Overlord he got. And the Lurkers are now out though, and once again, GoTuNk going for an attack that looks pretty scary, but then finding himself, incapable of dealing with Lurkers, but getting a lot of shots off on the Mutalisks. That makes it almost worth it in and of itself. The Archon still trying to get out, doing some good damage to Lurkers, actually managing to pick off 2 Lurkers despite not having observers, and now backing up with the majority of his army. That was a great engagement for GoTuNk. He now needs to pull home because he can't deal with the Lurkers, but still, killing off all those Mutalisks, great move by him. It's now still about even supply though. He did end up losing a lot of units once those Lurkers got a little bit too far forward. Last Mutalisk being taken out for TechnicS. And now trying to push forward again. I don't know why he's pushing forward now, though. He doesn't have observers. He can't actually win here. He needs to run away. Does manage to supply block TechnicS more, though. Just a perpetual supply block. Oh. Robo facility just finishing up now. Oh, he's going to get +1 this game. Alright, that's good. Gonna shut down that expansion as well. So that's... if this base is actually going to be able to get up, which is looking pretty secure with cannons and High Templar, that's going to be 3 base versus 3 base. Ooh, but are these speedlings going to see the army? Yes. GoTuNk might be caught a little bit out of position here. He's going to try to focus down the lurkers. Oh, nice move by GoTuNk, focusing down the lurkers so that he can win the rest of this engagement. But watch out for these lurkers here, just waiting for the Protoss to get a little bit too close. Now GoTuNk forced to back up. How much does the Archon have left? Just under 100. That's really what's keeping the Zerglings back. They does so much damage. Now trying to focus down it. He's microing back the Archon, trying to keep it alive. Good micro by GoTuNk in these battles, focusing down lurkers, focusing down Archons, keeping his Archon alive, but it's just going to be a little bit too much from TechnicS. Still going to be able to do great damage here. And there goes the Archon finally. Only a couple of Dragoons left. They might even be able to snipe a drone, though. No. Yes? Oh, they sniped one of the drones. The other drone does build the hatchery, so... still, pretty good, making the best out of a bad situation for GoTuNk there. He could have lost that army very easily without better micro, but doing a good job. Well, observers are now coming out, so he'll be able to deal with the lurkers a little bit more, but he doesn't have a huge army. It's an okay-sized army. TechnicS still only on 3 bases, trying to set up another base here, but it's 3 base versus 3 base, putting the advantage squarely in GoTuNk's favor. And GoTuNk, even if GoTuNk allows TechnicS to be more to expand everywhere, it's going to be a much better situation than it was on last game. Aztec, you can't do that on that map. You got to be more aggressive. And he tried to be aggressive with the harass, but it just kind of fell flat. This time, though, I think it's going to serve the way GoTuNk's trying to play a lot better. Well, Zergling's going down now. Lurker spazzing out a little bit. This is still a lot of lurkers, even with observers. There are a lot of dragoons for GoTuNk, though. He actually doesn't have that many speed lots. Storm going down. He needs more storms on this side. That's where the bigger concentration of units are. Storms his own Archon, but gets a lot of Zerglings in the process, trying to back up now. And now TechnicS with a much better army, and GoTuNk going to be forced to retreat. Oh, GoTuNk is going to be forced to retreat, and if he loses these Templars, that would be huge. Not having Storm is going to be really painful. He's whittling away on all of these units. Hasn't actually got any of them yet. There we go, getting one of the Templar at least. And now getting a second, and getting a third Templar, getting a fourth Templar. Oh, painful for GoTuNk, losing all of the Templar and the Archon. That's a lot of gas gone. Still about the same supply, though. Seems like you can say that after every battle. They're just maintaining right around that, with GoTuNk having a small lead, but not anywhere close enough where he can start feeling comfortable. Now, oh, this is way too much for GoTuNk to battle. He needs to back up. He needs to get the good storms off, but then get out of there. Try to save some of these units. He's being so aggressive, but I don't think he can be aggressive against this army from TechnicS. TechnicS doing a really good job of getting a lot of those low-tier units out. And he is going to lose, once again, all of his Templar. He can't afford to let them all die. He really wants to punish his base, not let TechnicS get ahead of him. But I think he has to just see that TechnicS is going to be on 4 bases and move on from there. Hive is done. Crack is now done, and that's going to make things even worse because these Zerglings were already doing significant amounts of damage. And here they come down to attack this base. There are a good number of cannons here, but it's not going to be enough. TechnicS will be able to take it out. Oh, man. And units coming in from the side as well. These buildings need to be canceled. Need to be canceled. Need to be canceled. No, okay, there we go. Now we're canceling. Was trying to stall it just for this army to come down, but Dragoon Dragoon High Templar, not the best composition to beat Cracklings. Pure Goon High Templar. Okay, there's some Zealous now, but this... You need immaculate storms, absolutely flawless storms. That's not a flawless storm. But you need flawless storms to be able to beat the level of Cracklings that TechnicS is producing without Archons, without upgraded speed lots. +2 attack for GoTuNk means that the Zealots are going to be pretty good versus Cracklings, but only as good as a unit can be versus Cracklings, really. And Ultralisk speed, interestingly. The Ultralisk Cavern finish for TechnicS. He doesn't have as many gases as he did last time, only 4 compared to, what, 7 gases he had before? And GoTunk's... Oh, man, I don't know where GoTuNk is getting all this gas, but he's getting a lot of High Templar. I definitely think he needs more Archons, though. He just hasn't had the success with the Storms to justify that many High Templar. Some High Templar are obviously very strong, but it's just not quite strong enough. Man, TechnicS actually taking this base up here, almost with a match point style pattern of expansion, and this is just such a scary force, constantly threatening GoTuNk wherever he wants to go. Getting another DT out. Man. DT's going to see this entire army. He's going to completely surround the Dark Templar. And oh, there's the Overlord to kill it off. That is not a fun position to be in for the Dark Templar, but yeah, it's I don't know. GoTuNk has a very small supply lead, but I don't know. I just don't think he has the right army composition. I don't think he can deal with the level of Cracklings TechnicS is producing without enough Archons. He does have 4. Now up to 4. 4 Archons are good. He's expanding down to this side, so it's going to be 4 base versus 5, but I just feel uneasy. Really uneasy for him. And the Ultralisk numbers are just rising. Just constantly getting up there, and while there's a pretty good number of Dragoons to deal with them, I don't know if it's enough. Upgrades only 2-0 for GoTuNk, which really isn't terribly good. 2-1 for TechnicS as well, but the Ultralisk armor upgrade is going to kick in, and that's going to be more important. Well, DT's leading the charge, and oh, great storm going down on so many of the units. Again, another great storm. This is going to be a fantastic engagement, and TechnicS even going to retreat through the storm once again. Oh, crushing blow to TechnicS here. A lot of the Ultralisks are very injured, meaning that he can continue to move up, but there's the swarm, and here comes another wave of Cracklings. Now it's TechnicS' turn to do damage here, and oh, great swarm again. But actually, there's enough stuff here that the swarm isn't going to be enough. They're just great storms by GoTuNk. The Zerglings were so clumped up, but now the Ultralisk moving around, getting under the swarm, and GoTuNk is going to be forced to back up, as he only has Dragoons to deal with swarm. Needs to pull back at least a little bit, and now he can start dealing with the Ultralisks again, but Dragoons versus Ultralisks isn't a very bad matchup for GoTuNk at all. Does need to pull back, though. TechnicS eventually able to overwhelm him, and wow. I did not think that battle went so badly for GoTuNk's, but just looking at the supply, TechnicS instantly able to get even higher than he was before that battle started, and GoTuNk obviously not able to get up to that level. Now 50 supply behind just in the blink of an eye. TechnicS's macro is ridiculous, and now going to be able to shut down this expansion, not let GoTuNk get on even bases, and oh man, it's ridiculous how good of an economy TechnicS has. Just, it's not even that particularly high saturation. I don't know how he does it. He's just better. Very, very nice play from him. Well, moving up the cliff, and that's just not going to be enough. It's just not enough stuff. And GoTuNk is going to be forced back into the position he was in the last game, petrified to move out because of the huge, huge armies of TechnicS. 2-3 compared to 3-0. That's not very good for GoTuNk. Not very good at all. And he has been able to keep this base alive. I am surprised by that, just because it's so open here that I thought that a couple of a control group of cracklings with a defiler would be able to shut that down. Once again, the fourth is going to be the robo facility to just constantly pop out reavers. And that's the only place he's producing reavers, apparently. Getting shuttle speed again. So it looks like GoTuNk wants to transition into the kind of game he had last time. He did have some success with it, but just not enough bases. This time the base discrepancy isn't as bad, only 5-4, and soon to be 6-4. But man, just looking at the map, it looks exactly like it did last time. As TechnicS takes the center base. It's a split map. It's just a split map where GoTuNk's half is only a third, and TechnicS's half is actually 2/3. Oh man. Maxed army for TechnicS. GoTuNk trying to get up there, but this is going to be a great battle for TechnicS. Getting a huge surround. GoTuNk not moving his army in a ball, but instead in a big line, and it got ambushed on the side. TechnicS pushing forward. Lots and lots of storms going down, able to do a lot of good damage, but it's not going to be enough. And while the armies will essentially trade, that's not what GoTuNk needed. He needed definitive wins at this point. Now going to try to get up the ramp, kind of blocking it, kind of not. Does manage to get some of the units up there. Keeping the Archons alive is nice, but still a good battle for TechnicS. And there's a DT left over afterwards to try to help out a little bit there. Once again, gonna make a bunch of reavers. Just sitting there with the reavers. Oh, there we go. Trying to catch that DT, but GoTuNk moving out again. This time, much smaller portion of TechnicS army. TechnicS should probably back away with his Ultralisks. While he can make a lot of them, they are still pretty valuable. Not a good idea to lose them. That's a lot of Archons for GoTuNk, and that's what he really wants right now. Lots and lots of Archons. Looks like that base in the center was taken out by the DT. So, yeah, 6 versus 4. There's no really good way for GoTuNk to punish any of these bases. It looks like he's going to try with speed shuttles, but I don't know if it's enough. Oh, going in again. Ugh. Well, yeah, and here comes TechnicS army again. And here comes TechnicS army again, man. It's just so big. There's so many units here that it doesn't even matter if TechnicS doesn't micro it. He doesn't need to. He just has more stuff. He just always consistently has more stuff, and those Ultralisks are too strong. Those perfect Ultralisks are too strong. You got a shield upgrade before armor. Rarely see that, but given the fact that he wants to go for a more Archon-based army, it makes sense. But an Archon-based army isn't going to be enough. It's just not. Once again, going to throw down the expansion there. Hopefully he throws down the second hatchery here so we can get efficient mining from both geysers and from both mineral fields. Don't know if he will. How are we looking for mining? Mined out. Mined out. Pretty close to mined out. Good. Actually, it's only half. Less than half. Compared to TechnicS. Almost new. Mined out, mined out, mined out. Almost mined out. About half. So, yeah, they'd be on even mining situations if you ignore this center base that's about to go up and this base here. But you can't ignore those. Those are pretty important. Oh, this is what those cannons were firing at before. GoTuNk trying to cannon rush TechnicS from the bottom, from the low ground here. Yeah, and the Silken Colonies can take him out. That's kind of amusing. Oh, but TechnicS going in for a big attack. Oh, a very big attack. And this base does not have the kind of choke that the 4th base for TechnicS had last time. Not to mention there's only 1 Reaver. Oh, there are 3 Reavers here, but this is just such a small army in comparison. And TechnicS coming around for the huge flank all the way around and completely surrounding GoTuNk. GoTuNk has nowhere to run. He just has to just use as many storms as possible, get those Reaver shouts out as fast as possible. He is getting a lot of storms off. There's a lot of red blood there, but it's not going to be enough in the end. He has no more Reavers, no more Archons. Oh, the ones that are morphing in aren't going to be able to make it, and TechnicS will crush GoTuNk's army once again, being almost double supply in that he is maxed immediately. Just maxed 188. It's fine. It's as if I didn't lose anything. Just hit that U key. But he's not even that many Ultralisks. I mean, it's a good number of Ultralisks, but it's not overly Ultralisks. It's the perfect ratio of units. TechnicS macro is just impeccable. It's terrifying. Oh man. And GoTuNk just does not have anything left. Don't know which direction he's planning on going in, but it doesn't matter. He could take out the main, he could take out the last mining base, he could take out the 3rd that means nothing. And Swarm going down. Good Storms going down, hitting a lot of units. Oh, but not even enough to kill that Lurker, unfortunately. GG from GoTuNk. And TechnicS, after the PP, comes out and looks incredibly strong, beating GoTuNk 3-0. Certainly a player to fear moving on in the tournament. He will be advancing. So, that is the end of a very long cast, almost 6 hours. Some really nice series today. Good play. Lots of strong players advancing. If you want to check out the brackets of who plays who, and I would recommend you do that, go to altitudeisl.net. It's in all of the slide graphics. And you can check out the bracket there. You can start making your predictions as to who will make it on to the next round. Results haven't been updated, but you should know who won. All of them. And I want to thank the sponsors. Altitude, obviously the biggest sponsor. Go play their game. Altitude ISL also is where you can get a link to download their game. So please go check it out. Thank you to sales viewers and to Twitch TV. Also thank you to Nabopolis, Fairyland, Trap, Ruskig, Corum Jahalen, Noise, and Prowler. I'll be casting 21 CET next week for a round of 16 action. I don't know which half of the bracket I have. I don't think we've decided it yet, but either half of the bracket is going to have good matchups. So be sure to look forward to that, and thank you all for watching. Bye.